My friends, life is a battlefield, not of swords and guns, but of wills, words, and wisdom. The man who wishes to be respected, who desires to be valued, must first master the art of silence. For silence is not weakness. It is the restraint of the strong. The fool shouts to prove himself. The wise man listens, calculates, and speaks only when his words carry weight. There are 5 situations in which silence is the sharpest tool in your arsenal. Learn them, live by them, and you will command respect without demanding it. Anger is a fire that burns in the belly of every man, a force that can either forge greatness or reduce all to ashes. The weak man surrenders to it, letting his tongue become a weapon of reckless destruction. But the strong man, he knows the true power lies not in the explosion of rage, but in the iron grip of silence. When fury rises like a storm, the disciplined mind does not react. It waits. It calculates. It understands that words spoken in anger cannot be taken back, that once unleashed, they carve wounds deeper than any blade. Silence in these moments is not cowardice. It is control. It is the mark of a man who refuses to be ruled by his impulses, who knows that respect is not seized in outbursts, but earned through unshakable composure. History remembers the men who stood firm in chaos, who met provocation not with screams, but with steady, unbroken quiet. Because silence in the face of wrath is the ultimate display of strength. The world fears the man who cannot be baited, who remains unmoved when others expect him to break. Every second of restraint is a victory. Every withheld word is a demonstration of power. When the blood boils and the instinct is to strike, that is when silence becomes your greatest weapon. Let fools shout. Let the hot-headed flail. You will be the one who commands the room not through volume, but through the sheer force of your stillness. Accountability, that is how battles are truly won, not by the loudest voice, but by the man who never needed to raise his. The world is full of noise, endless chatter from those who mistake volume for wisdom, who believe speaking louder makes them right. But the wise man knows better. He understands that engaging with ignorance is like wrestling a pig in mood. You both get dirty, but the pig enjoys it. When confronted with foolishness, the strongest response is often no response at all. Silence is not surrender, it is strategy. The fool craves attention, thrives on reaction, and measures his worth by the chaos he creates. Deny him that satisfaction, and you strip him of his only power. Your silence becomes a wall, impenetrable, unshaken, leaving his empty words to echo into nothingness. History's greatest minds wasted no time debating those who refused to learn. They conserved their energy for battles that mattered. Every moment spent correcting the ignorant is a moment stolen from meaningful pursuits. Let them rant. Let them posture. Your quiet restraint exposes their emptiness far more effectively than any argument ever could. The truly strong do not need to prove themselves to those who cannot comprehend strength. They move forward, unburdened by the weight of pointless conflict, leaving fools to drown in their own noise. The world will always have those who shout, just to hear their own voice. But the man who knows when to hold his tongue is the man who commands true respect. There is an ancient power in silence that rattles adversaries more than any shouted threat ever could. When others seek to provoke you, when they prod and poke, desperate for any reaction, your unbroken stillness becomes their undoing. They want you to flinch, to engage, to descend into their arena of petty conflict. Refuse. Stand unmoved as stone and watch their confidence crumble. The silent man cannot be read, cannot be predicted, cannot be controlled. His restraint breeds unease in those who rely on choice to dominate. Every word unspoken is a mystery they cannot solve, a weakness they cannot exploit. History's most formidable leaders understood this. The less you reveal, the more others must guess, and nothing unsettles an opponent like uncertainty. when you remain silent in the face of provocation. You force them to confront their own doubts, their own fears. They will fill the void with imagined threats, with self-inflicted dread. Your composure becomes a mirror, reflecting their insecurity back at them. The loudest man in the room is often the weakest. He makes noise because he fears being ignored. But the man who needs no validation, who answers insults with quiet intensity, he is the one who lingers in their mind long after the confrontation ends. Let them exhaust themselves trying to break you. Your silence is the anvil upon which their efforts shatter. True victory needs no herald. When you've crossed the finish line first, when you've outmaneuvered doubters and surpassed expectations, the sweetest triumph lies in letting your achievement speak for itself. The insecure man feels compelled to broadcast his success, desperate for applause. But this only cheapens it. Greatness recognized by others carries far more weight than greatness announced by the victor. Your silence after a win amplifies its impact. It forces the world to pause and measure the full magnitude of what you've done without the distraction of your own commentary. Legends are not built through self-congratulation, but through deeds that echo across time. The unspoken victory lingers in the air longer, settles deeper into the consciousness of those who witness it. When you resist the urge to proclaim your worth, others will do it for you, and their voices will carry it farther than your own ever could. The quiet conqueror understands this. The roar of genuine accomplishment drowns out the hollow noise of bragging. Let them come to the realization of your excellence on their own terms. That delayed moment of recognition. When observers piece together the brilliance of what you've achieved without your prompting, is infinitely more satisfying than any immediate, self-generated praise. Your restraint becomes the exclamation point on your success. The world remembers not what winners say about themselves, but what others say about them, and let this truth settle upon you like armor. Silence is not emptiness. It is intention. It is the pause before the strike, the calm within the storm, the unspoken language of those who understand true strength. We have walked through the fire of anger and emerged unscathed by mastering our tongues. We have watched fools exhaust themselves against the fortress of our restraint. We have seen adversaries falter when met not with words, but with the weight of our stillness. And we have learned that the highest victories are those we allow others to proclaim for us. This is the mark of a life lived with purpose, a life where every withheld word is a calculated step toward greatness. The world will try to provoke you, distract you, bait you into battles beneath your dignity. Do not take the lure. Your power lies in what you refuse to engage, what you decline to acknowledge. Let the weak clamor for attention. You will be the man who earns reverence without begging for it. History does not remember the loudest voices. It remembers those who acted while others prattled, who built while others boasted, who moved while others debated. So go forward with this discipline etched into your bones. When anger flares, let silence cool it. When ignorance shouts, let silence starve it. When enemies provoke, let silence unnerve them. And when triumph comes, as it will, let silence magnify it. The quieter you become, the more the world leans in to listen. This is not passivity. This is dominance. Of the arc of your life will be defined not by the noise you make, but by the storms you weather without a word. Let them underestimate you until the moment they realize, too late, that the man who says least is the one who has already outmaneuvered them all. Now, go. The battlefield awaits, and the world will remember not what you said, but what you did in the spaces between your silence.